Hey guys, welcome inside the Crazy Ant Farm. Holy moly, we got the one and only Adrian Ray coming on the show today. We're so super excited.
Yes, the queen herself from Vagrant Queen.
Yes.
It's going to be awesome.
I know. Talk about an up-and-comer breaking into this industry, man. I think she's got a step ahead of everyone else, to be honest with you.
Yeah, and the Fan Friday stuff that she does and
Yeah.
to show the appreciation for the fandom that she's got for the show and everything, she is definitely on the move and
Yeah.
knows how to do it for sure.
Yeah, I mean, she is just a phenomenal person. Probably one of the nicest people we've ever met in
Definitely.
Hollywood.
Definitely. And maybe at the end of this show, I'm going to stand up and jump off this chair.
You never know. You never know. Don't know what we're talking about? Just wait till the interview.
That's right. That's right.
Oh my goodness, but that's later on the show. Now, let's get a little crazy. What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Inside the Crazy Ant Farm. Holy moly, episode 112.
112. Oh my gosh.
Shit.
Yeah.
Wild, man.
We are rolling. We are
know.
just rolling. We are blowing through this third year already.
I know.
Like it's crazy to me how
I know.
many we are like putting together.
Yeah.
It's just amazing.
It's absolutely wild, and I mean, it's just insane. Probably it seems so much quicker than what it normally is just because of quarantine. We literally live, eat, breathe, like sleep crazy. And I mean, we do that normally anyway, and then we gotta like mix everything together. It's wild. It is
wild.
absolutely crazy right now, but quarantine drives you a little crazy. So it's great that you're here inside the Crazy Ant Farm.
Thank you, Peter Brady. Like
Right?
a little crack in the voice right there.
Yeah,
That was-
you know. But yes, oh my goodness, it's gonna be a phenomenal show, you guys, and you know your host with the most, myself, J-Lo Fantastic, and the one and only Mal.
What's up?
Oh my goodness, like we said, we got a lot of industry news, a lot of crazy ass industry news going on this week. We got a lot of Disney, to be honest with you, a lot of shit going down with Disney.
The upfronts obviously going on. This is May, and then of course you got the quarterly reports because the first quarter's up, so we got all that coming out. And
Exactly.
Disney just woo,
Exactly.
had a lot going on.
And
Man.
I mean, do you guys want to see Tom Cruise in space? I mean,
not fake space,
not
not a
fake
sound
space.
stage, like real space.
real fucking space. I don't know,
I
man.
mean that's going to be an interesting
I
one.
know, but fun
right?
fact, he is the perfect height for being an
It's
astronaut.
true, it's
Because
true.
you can't be too small or too tall because, like, you have to fit so many
true.
things in
It's
a freaking
true.
spacecraft.
He's like perfect for a little space capsule.
It's
It's
great.
like it's great. You know,
Yeah, it's great.
he's short for anybody who doesn't know.
He a little guy.
He's gonna sue us now. He sues everybody. Yeah, he's gonna.
Exactly.
I'm not short.
I think, okay.
Those aren't platform shoes.
No. Oh my goodness. But before we get this thing started, we got to plug our merchandise website, crazyantmedia.com, where you can start rocking the latest and greatest Crazy Ant Media gear. Oh my goodness. I know in the one that's in hot demand right now is my man's sketch of Bonk with the director's chair.
Yeah. Thank you, by the way. I mean,
Yes.
the response to that was like just crazy. I'm kind of blown away by it. It was just like a quick little sketch. I'm like, fuck it. Let me draw a Bonk.
Exactly.
But you guys love it. So we're going to get it up on the website so you can order it and everything.
Coming soon. Should be on by this weekend. So, I mean, just stay tuned. We'll be posting it. We'll keep you all updated. Just calm the fuck down.
But thank you.
Yes,
seriously.
seriously.
Though. I'm glad you guys liked it. It was fun to draw.
Yeah, so good, so good. And then, oh my goodness, I'm so excited because we got the official Crazy Ant Media logo shirt coming.
Yes.
I'm so super excited about it. And then I'm gonna put myself on a t-shirt. If you want to buy a shirt with me on it, we're gonna have that for you. So be prepared.
Yeah, we do, and we have an old school, new school shirt too. There's one with me and my little 8mm camera, one with J-Lo with his current camera, and we're kind of like on. So we'll get that one up there too, and you guys can it's fun. That's what we're all about, old school, new school, right? Like
so much good shit, so much good shit. But let's get started with Disney.
Yes, Disney.
Yes.
Now, I'm really, look, we've talked about this, executive chairman. This is not to knock the new Bob.
No.
Okay? But the old Bob kicks ass.
Just saying.
And we're going through COVID, okay? So, and now Disney hasn't officially announced that yet. They've kind of like, hey, he's back. He's kind of like, doing the... Remember, he stepped away. He was going to be executive chairman.
Yeah.
He was going to focus on creative stuff.
Right.
Right? And Bob Chapek was going to take over the daily operations and running it as the new CEO. Then COVID hit. And COVID has been really rough for Disney.
Yeah.
So they needed somebody that could like guide that ship, and old Bob Iger, stepped back in. Like I said, no official announcement, but it's pretty clear he's running stuff again.
Yeah.
They had their conference call, their shareholder conference call, end of the first quarter.
Yep.
Results, numbers, all that kind of good stuff. Numbers.
They're looking a little rough.
Yeah, some bad news.
Especially with the theme parks.
yeah. Bad news and good news, but bad news for the theme parks for sure. But I want to get this. I want to read this because he made a statement, and I want to make sure I read this thing right because he is just like the man. This is his quote to the shareholders, his direct quote to the shareholders. The Walt Disney Company has proven to be exceptionally resilient over nearly a century in business, and I believe this time will be no different. Obviously, much has changed in the world since our last earnings call. As someone who's been around a while and led this company through some tough times over the past 15 years, I have absolute confidence in the company's... Oh, I just lost my spot. Where'd I go?
The ability to rebound.
That's right.
People find comfort in our messages of hope and optimism. They miss doing the things that bring them joy, including going to a movie theater and visiting the theme parks.
That's right.
I mean, of course.
And he says that Disney can be a part of the broader recovery of the economy. People want good news. They want to experience joy and a feeling of togetherness. That's Disney.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
He summed it all up in like literally one paragraph.
Yeah, for sure.
That's Disney.
Yeah.
Disney's the feel-good company.
Yeah.
I mean, so with that kind of a response, with that kind of a guy coming back and like taking it, like we're going to get through this, how can you not believe that they're going to get through this?
Exactly.
So,
I know, it's crazy. Just sitting here thinking about it, I'm comparing it to The Godfather. Freaking Bob Iger is basically Marlon Brando's character, and Bob Chapek is trying to be young Al Pacino there, trying to work his way up.
That's an interesting comparison.
I know.
Yeah, no, that's true.
They're both good, but one's always the best.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. And like you said, because of COVID, I mean, the parks, they've been shut down for a while now, guys. Yeah. And so that hurt. Parks, experiences, and products segment of their revenue, $1 billion in losses there.
With a B.
$1 billion, primarily due to the closures of the parks.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, Walt Disney World and just Disneyland, not counting all the other ones everywhere, but just those two. I mean, it's massive. The quarter 2 2020 earnings report overall, it's somewhere between $1.4 billion in losses. So, yeah, total revenue, they made $18 billion, but like we said, $1.4 billion in losses.
Yeah.
They did beat Wall Street estimates, though.
Yeah.
I mean, not as much as they were expected to. I mean, obviously, come on, COVID hit. They were riding a high last year.
Exactly.
Everybody expected it. I'm nervous because, I haven't checked it today, but they could drop below $100 at the share price. For
Wall Street doesn't have much faith in Disney right now.
No.
I mean, like you said, what if it gets down to below $100? Like, what the fuck is going to happen? People are saying sell right now.
Yeah, at 85. Like sell at 85. Like, man,
I know.
It was riding high at 140 something just before COVID. Now, if you're going to have to sell off at 85, yikes.
I know.
But I think that's why Bob Iger came back, made that statement. He's like, look, guys, everything is okay. We're going to get through this. And it did offer some good news to the investors about some theme parks, at least one.
Yeah.
Shanghai. Disneyland in Shanghai is going to reopen May 11th.
That's cool.
So there you go. Just slowly.
Yeah, I think the right way to do it, at least for the time being, is half capacity. It is what it is. It's really going to suck for the people who try to go there for the first week or at least the first phase. But, we got to do what we got to do in some crazy-ass times.
We have to, know, and we talked about it on the show a couple of weeks ago. They're going to do it in phases, like half capacity, then maybe 75% or whatever.
Yeah.
But you still have to do the distancing,
exactly,
the hand washing, all the kind of. It's going to be crazy.
Yeah, and things are trying to move forward on the production side of things. CEO Bob Chapek, Don Corleone there, Little Don, has announced that there are currently no timetable yet when the production on big budget films like Marvel and Star Wars are going to go back to like productions, which really sucks. And is hinting that the company may rethink its theatrical release mindset and send more first-run titles to Disney Plus, saying, quote, "We very much believe in the value of the theatrical experience overall to launch, the blockbuster theatrical movies. But as you know, we had $7 billion films last year's calendar in 2019. But we realized that either because of changing and evolving consumer dynamics or because of certain situations like COVID, they may take things in a different strategy, like releasing them on the Disney Plus streaming platform. But they also said that they're not fans of the video on demand.
No.
Like, they're not down with putting it on Amazon and then trying to get people to pay $20 for it. They're like, no, if you have our streaming service, you're going to be able to watch our films, which is amazing thinking about the time that we're in with the streaming services.
Right.
Like, this is going to put them ahead of the game.
I think that's a smart move. As you guys know, Universal and the theater chains are going back and forth in this war of words because Universal is like, no, we just put it on video on demand. We make more money that way. And I think that's hurting them a little bit.
Yeah.
Disney, Chapek made, I think, a brilliant call. It's like, look, if we decide to go straight to, it's going to be free on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
If you have Disney Plus, that's the right way to do it.
Yeah.
I just think that's a smart move. He did say, though, that, look, we understand the significance of our big movies, our tentpole movies.
Yeah.
And he reminded everybody, look, we've got 3 of them coming out pretty soon. Mulan on July 24th, Empty Man August 7th, and the one and only Ivan on August 14th. He wants people to know we believe in these. We're still going to attempt to put these out in the theaters because we know how important.
I think that's the testing ground, though.
Yeah.
Which kind of sucks for Mulan because they put a lot of money and work and time into that film. So if it doesn't open like nearly as much as fucking, say, Aladdin or The Jungle Book or freaking Lion King there, I don't know, man. I feel like they're going to completely rethink these live action takes on their old original movies. I guess your lowest bar, though, is probably that $50 million they got with Dumbo. But still, like, that's a bath, man. That's a bath.
Well, you would have to think that their accountants and Iger and Chapek and all these guys are already planning on taking a loss.
Yeah.
I feel like even if it comes out and it does 50, 60, God willing, 100 million, they're still going to take a bath on this movie because you're just not going to get the amount of people to go see it. Because, much like Disney World and Disneyland, the theaters are going to be held to a 50% capacity level also. So this movie, say it would have made $100 million, it's probably only going to make 50 because only half the people are going to be allowed to see it.
Yeah, but what if this is like one of the films that don't hit the $1 billion mark? That would be a gut punch, man.
It would, but at least they have an excuse.
Yeah.
At least they have an excuse.
Yeah.
And to their credit, they're being extremely smart with their franchise that they know always makes $1 billion. Black Widow's not coming out until November.
Yeah.
So they're giving it plenty of space to have at least be back up to 75-80% capacity before they release Black Widow.
Man. I hope so, because you don't want to be that first Marvel movie that does not cross $1 billion.
No, or the first one that doesn't open at number 1.
Exactly.
Like guys, 23 movies, they've all opened at number 1.
Yeah.
Even Hulk.
Exactly.
So you definitely don't want to be the first one. But I think we talked about this a little bit too last week. A lot of these studios are shifting what would have been their summer blockbusters to the fall.
Yeah.
So that's going to be interesting because the fall is where they generally release the Oscar contenders.
Yeah,
that's where they want you to remember
season,
those.
Like,
So if you're going to flood that thing with a bunch of blockbuster summer films, where's that going to leave the holes for the award season and the Oscar contenders? It's going to be interesting.
Yeah, man. They're going to have to rethink streaming. We reported last week that the Oscars reevaluated its entry contenders, but I feel like they're going to have to rethink some things, especially since all the tentpole movies are going to come out in the fall. So
right, and we know Spike's got one coming. We'll talk about that in a little bit on that, but it's still going to be Oscar contender even though he's going to Netflix. So and Disney has reason to maybe think that strategy. They announced Disney Plus 54.5 million subscribers now worldwide.
Damn.
That's an increase of 4.5 million, almost 5 million new subscribers just since last month.
Yeah, since we last talked about it.
Yeah. I mean, come on. That is crazy. Obviously, Chapek said that the lockdown conditions keeping people home helped that a little bit. But guys, again, I want to stress, there's now all the new Star Wars stuff on there. The new documentary series from Favreau about The Mandalorian. All of the Skywalker stuff that was the saga that wasn't on there prior, okay? And you've still got Marvel stuff yet to come. If these guys average between 4 and 5 million new subscribers every month, they're going to blow by Netflix far faster than Netflix was anticipating.
Freaking quick, which is insane because, I mean, as we know, Netflix has been rocking and rolling for at least the past 10, 15 years for streaming. I mean, of course, they've been around since 2000 doing everything, but for streaming specifically, at least 10 years being the number one streaming service.
Right.
And Disney Plus is like right on their heels, man. I wouldn't be surprised if they pass them, to be honest.
No, I wouldn't either. In probably a year, maybe 2 years.
Yeah.
And I think, Reed and Ted were hoping 5, 6, 7 years to be competitive. But, I mean, at this pace.
Yeah, but they like the competition, so it's all good.
They do. They do.
It's all good.
Of course, with the huge success of Disney Plus, their regular networks, ESPN, ABC, and all them, they're kind of scrambling to figure out what to do.
Yeah.
Which is interesting, too, because when we get to the Viacom CBS, they have a strategy for that. So we're going to talk about that a little bit. But we should say ESPN had huge crowds for the Chicago Bulls docuseries, the Michael Jordan with The Last Dance.
Makes sense.
And we talked about this last week, the NFL Draft.
Yeah.
So they did see significant numbers in those. So so much so that I guess we're going to talk about this. They're planning some new stuff. That docuseries for The Last Dance was on Sunday.
Yeah.
And it kind of did so well in that time frame that they're going to be putting some new stuff in that Sunday time slot.
Well, yeah, and I saw that they're really thinking about going back to these 30 for 30 documentaries so that people can really get to experience the locker room and get to experience all these different teams and atmospheres for these different sports. I think that's a great idea because I've always loved the 30 for 30s.
Yeah, no, without doubt. And they've got a few of them coming too. Let's see, in May and June, one about Lance Armstrong. 2-part film Lance, which features his unprecedented access to Lance Armstrong's and delivers. That'll be interesting because we all know he cheated.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, it's gonna be another one. Bruce Lee. They're gonna do another. Martial arts and legend Bruce Lee. And then in June, that's June 7th. And then June 14th, The Long Gone Summer, the official selection of the 2020 Tribeca Film Festival, Mark McGuire and Sammy Sosa story.
That's epic.
So, because remember that home run battle back in the day? That was brilliant. So, you're right, the 30-30s, and I think that's great.
Yeah, it's going to be epic. And like you said before, that Disney Plus doesn't even have the Marvel shows on there yet. But guess what, guys? Disney just recently announced that the Fury Files, which promises to offer up some new, fresh MCU content, is going to arrive on Disney Plus next week.
Yeah.
Don't even have to freaking wait that long.
No.
But it's going to be an animated series made from the motion picture comic art and scenes from the TV shows like The Avengers and things like that. I'm super excited about it.
Yeah, me too. And I love the description. Fury Files gives viewers top secret access to S.H.I.E.L.D. intel on key Marvel heroes and villains.
Yes.
All of this told by none other than the mysterious Fury himself.
Epic.
Bringing together a mix of animation and motion. I love this too, the motion comic art.
Yeah.
You guys see those? They're doing this a lot lately. Marvel and DC, like releasing little trailers for their comics using this kind of motion. It's pretty cool, man.
Yeah. Do we know if Samuel L. Jackson will be voicing him?
I hope so.
Right?
I hope so. That would be a fail if not.
Yeah.
But I don't know because we don't know if Fury's actually going to be voicing it or if it's just you're looking at it like you're reading through his files. I don't know. But you're right. If Fury is reading the files, then it's not Samuel Jackson. That would be epic fail.
Exactly. And this next one, it kind of proves our fact right, our theory right, that Kevin Feige was canceling all these shows because they weren't falling underneath his banner. They were going under Marvel Television and not Marvel Studios. Because remember us talking about Ghost Rider being canceled at Hulu? Well, guess what? Kevin Feige is now developing a Ghost Rider series for Marvel at Disney Plus.
Yeah, and so, okay. And There's a couple of things though. He's made it clear that the Ghost Rider that he's developing is not the one that was introduced on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah.
That was going to get the spin-off series. That, it's actually Johnny Blaze, the one that Nicolas Cage played. They're going with the Johnny Blaze version of Ghost Rider.
That's the original, correct?
That's the original.
Gotcha.
So that makes sense. I mean, although I liked Gabrielle Luna's version on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., I thought it would have been epic.
Yeah, it was good.
But I can see why they want to go back to the original, version of Ghost Rider. And the rumor is live action series, but Feige keeps hinting too that we might see him in film. It maybe pop up in Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
The new Doctor Strange movie. So Doctor Strange and the Mystic and the multiverses, there's so many possibilities. We've heard so many rumors about what characters could pop up in there. So
I'm super excited to see the first ever Marvel film that hits Disney Plus, or the first ever the original, the original Marvel film that hits Disney Plus, or the original Star Wars film that hits Disney Plus, because I just feel like it's going to change the game.
I think so too.
Yeah,
and there's so many possibilities. I mean, and maybe that's what all these Marvel series are doing, is testing the grounds. Like, if these are all really successful, can we just full out do a film on there and see if it works? I'm super excited about this next one too, because I'm a huge fan of the character in the comic books, and I think this is just the natural progression. Apparently, there's also a rumored to be active development of Ironheart. Yeah, Ironheart. Badass. You guys know that's about Riri. She's like this child prodigy who develops her own armor based off of Tony's Iron Man armor.
Yeah.
And she, at one point, takes over as Iron Man for after Tony's out of it. So that's rumored to be in development. I think it's probably a good rumor. I think this is probably accurate, because they have long been setting up Young Avengers with Captain Marvel, and kind of stuff. We know, with Cassie Lang and with Hawkeye there, with Kate Bishop and stuff. We know that's coming, and Riri is a part of that. So this totally makes sense to me.
Yeah,
totally makes sense
for sure. And I mean, I could see it going either ways: Young Avengers as a feature film or as a series. So that'd be badass.
It would be badass, and maybe that's it. Maybe they're introduced in the next Captain Marvel movie, and then they spin off into their own series on Disney Plus. That'd be badass.
Hell yeah. And I mean, other things going on. You know more about this than I do. The Secret Warriors project is also in early development at Marvel Studios. You're super excited about this one.
I am super excited, and not to be confused with Secret Wars.
Yeah.
Because there's long been rumors that the Russo brothers want to do the Secret Wars storyline. Not that. Secret Warriors. Warriors. If you guys are familiar, you know this. If you're an Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. fan, you know that they kind of loosely introduced that little group, although not the same group in the comic books. But Quake, Chloe Bennett's character, Daisy, Quake, she leads the Secret Warriors, and they're apparently developing this now. As a live-action series. They had a really successful animated series of it on Disney's XD called Marvel Rising, where they kind of introduced it. Quake was the leader. Captain Marvel's kind of like their mentor kind of thing. So it includes Quake, Phobos, Hellfire, Yo-Yo, and Stonewall. But this new one on Disney XD that they had so much success with was Quake, Miss Marvel, Squirrel Girl, Patriot America Chavez, Inferno, and then, of course, still Quake leading the group and everything.
Yeah.
So if that's the team that they're going with for this live action, that would be so badass. And I'm hoping, Feige, be smart about this, Chloe Bennett, you can't recast Quake.
No,
She's fucking brilliant. She is like all in. You got to do that. And by the way, find a way to bring Coulson back too. Okay, if S.H.I.E.L.D. is ending, if Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which apparently it is, you got to get Coulson back into the movies. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, exactly.
That's all I'm saying.
Exactly. And I mean, more things, Disney. We saw that the sing-along, the Disney family sing-alongs were so popular. Well, I mean, we got more brilliant musicians signing up and some haters. I really don't like the first one. Katy Perry, John Legend, Jennifer Hudson, Christina Aguilera, The Muppets, Titus Burgess, Sabrina Carpenter, Lang Lang, and the pros from Dancing with the Stars and the latest auditions, to Disney Family Sing-Along Volume 2. It's going to be airing on Mother's Day, like we talked about.
Yeah, we talked about that, the big sequel to it, because the first one was so, well-received, I guess. And they already had, they just added these, because they already announced a bunch of people. Chloe X, Haley Billie Eichner, Eichner, Haley Herbert, Halsey, Josh Gad, Donald Glover. Of course, Derek Hoff will be back, and Julianne Hough, his sister. India Menzel, Miguel, Kiki Palmer, Ben Platt, Seth Rogen. I mean, fuck, who's not in this one?
know,
Rebel
right?
Wilson,
Like,
Shakira. Wow, it's just like Disney's kind of loosening it up a little bit, right? After that Super Bowl show, they're like, what? Shakira? But I'm down for that. Bring Shakira in.
They're so smart with the family content. I'm not gonna lie.
No, they're
nobody
good.
is gonna do better than Disney for your family content. I mean, people can come close, but it's not gonna be better.
No,
I'm just saying.
Disney. It's the original family content.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, more things. Disney Plus.
Because you know.
I know it's all Disney. Nat Geo scripted limited series The Right Stuff is moving to Disney Plus for its fall premiere.
Yes.
The Leonardo DiCaprio is an executive producer of the 8-episode Warner Horizon TV series that tells the story of an early NASA program, and the series centers around the characters of Major John Glenn, played by Patrick J. Adams, and Lieutenant Commander Alan Shepard, played by Jake McDormand.
Yeah.
Great cast.
Oh, it's a brilliant cast. And if you guys saw the movie back in the day, The Right Stuff, it was a fucking brilliant movie. So this series, I have no doubt, is going to be brilliant. And our guy, our favorite, Danny Strong, is in it.
Epic.
Yeah, I can't wait for this one. I'm a huge fan of Patrick J. Adams. Yeah. Obviously, you guys remember from America 2.0. He was Seth.
Yeah.
I mean, this guy's brilliant. Mike on Suits. I mean, he's brilliant.
Yeah.
So for him to have the lead is going to be amazing. And I think this is going to be really, and it's a smart move.
Yeah.
Put it on. I mean, Nat Geo had a category on Disney Plus.
Exactly.
Makes sense to put that on there.
For sure. I mean, Leo, bro.
Leo's executive producing it. I mean, anything that he's executive producing totally makes sense.
So good.
Totally makes sense. Oh, what? This one makes sense too. Let's jump to Warner Media. This one totally makes sense. They have. Remember when they said that they were going to kind of sideline Superman and focus more on Supergirl?
Makes sense.
Now they've switched that. Yeah. They've put the development of Supergirl on feature films, not the TV show.
Yeah.
Not the TV.
Don't get confused.
Feature films. They've put that development on hold because they realize all of a sudden after 3 years, 4 years, that focusing on Supergirl after seeing Superman in Justice League wouldn't make sense.
No, not at all.
You think?
No shit.
Maybe we should find out what happened to Superman before we find out what happened to anybody else.
Oh my goodness. I know.
Yeah, that's the thing. So, okay, good. But now the thing is, now that you've decided this, Warner Brothers, is it Henry Cavill?
Yeah, I know.
Are we going a different route? Henry, there's no word on that yet, but Henry has repeatedly expressed interest in continuing to play the role.
With it. And we're fine with it.
I really am. And you guys know me. Christopher Reeve, Superman, the original 78, that's my shit. That's what got me wanting to do films. That's what my superhero geek that I am and all that. But I like Cavill.
Yeah.
I really, if you're going to move forward with a new version and away from the Christopher Reeve version, I like this version.
Yeah.
I thought Cavill did a good job, and you need to do him justice. Do a Man of Steel 2. Somebody suggested Patty Jenkins coming on and taking Man of Steel 2.
Oh, wow.
I would be okay with that.
Yeah.
I would totally be. I don't think she'll do it because she doesn't,
I don't think she will either.
But she said... the first Wonder Woman was a total homage to the original Superman.
Exactly.
If anybody, Patty, save Superman. Save Superman.
That should be the campaign. Save Superman.
Patty Jenkins, #Save Superman. Oh my gosh, yeah, let's start it now.
So good. But yeah, I mean, Henry Cavill coming back, I would love that. And honestly, both of the guys in Hollywood coming on to either play Superman as well.
Yeah.
The guy who plays Rock Hudson would be a great Superman, and the main guy. So.
Yeah, I mean, he looks it's weird because he looks like a combination of Henry Cavill and Matt Bomer.
Yeah.
Who both are like, real. At one point, Matt Bomer was going to be Superman.
Yeah.
So, interesting. But now he's part of the Doom Patrol, he's Negative Man. So,
it's like,
can't
even
do
though
that.
you don't see his face, but still. It's fine.
That's true.
It's fine.
That's true. Designing Women. Remember Designing Women way back in the day?
No.
Yeah, I did.
I have no idea.
Delta Burke and no.
Delta Dawn?
I do. No, Delta Burke.
Okay.
Gerald McCraney's wife.
Okay. Not a song?
No.
Okay.
No. Anyway, another one of the stars on that show, Jean Smart, has been cast to star in a single-camera comedy from Mike Schur and Broad City alums Paul W. Downs, Lucia Anlou, and Jen Statsky.
Okay.
It's received a 10-episode order at HBO Max, and this is a really interesting concept to me. The show's going to explore the dark mentorship that forms between a Las Vegas diva, which will be Jean Smart.
Yeah.
Totally makes sense. And an entitled, outcast 25-year-old.
Oh, interesting.
So clearly, Jean Smart's going to be this person who wasn't entitled, didn't have a lot growing up, obviously, had to make her way in Vegas and kind of get to where she's at. Now she's going to mentor this little spoiled brat, apparently.
Yeah.
Sounds interesting.
I mean, something that I will say for Warner Brothers Pictures is they're not afraid to get dirty with the content. I feel they always get in the grime of things, like Bad Side of Hollywood, Las Vegas, like drug addicts, like all that shit. Like Euphoria, like all that shit.
Which and this is really interesting because it's in direct, opposite of Disney Plus, which is all family entertainment.
Yeah.
Clearly, HBO with HBO Max is gonna pepper it. We're gonna have family stuff, but we're also gonna have this dark, gritty stuff.
Some dark shit.
So, of course, they don't have Hulu.
No.
So, I mean, Disney has two to play with. So, I guess HBO's stuck putting all of it on one. But I like it though. I agree with you. I really like it. I think that's gonna be a good series, and I like that they take chances.
Exactly. Exactly, because they don't have to like restrain a little bit because of their family content.
Exactly. Nobody sitting in a room with a table having to question whether this is okay to put on there.
Like, is this really Disney? No, it's actually Warner Brothers. But
that's right.
I mean, more shit that's happening over at Warner Brothers.
Talk about taking a chance.
HBO Max. Selena Gomez will host and executive produce an unscripted cooking series. Interesting.
Yeah.
And it's received a 10-episode order at HBO Max. We will find Gomez attempting to make some delicious meals while stuck at home during quarantine. In each episode, she'll be joined remotely by different master chefs, and they will tackle the cuisine. Everybody knows I can't read.
That's all right.
Yeah.
Crazy. I'm sure there will be craziness with the cuisines, though.
Of course. Of every variety, share invaluable tips and tricks. Each installment will also highlight the food-related charity as coronavirus pandemic continues.
That's good. I mean, if you can have some fun in the kitchen and cooking around with Selena Gomez, and then
sounds like the chef show.
Yeah, it does. It does. But it's Selena Gomez.
Man.
I like Selena Gomez.
Yeah, I mean, feel like she's real.
Yeah, she's real. So, I mean, no telling what she's going to be cooking.
Yeah.
Although, I will say this. If Bieber pops up at any point,
turn it off.
Turn it off. Don't do that, Selena. You are past that.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Thank you. Next that shit.
That's right. Oh, NBC Universal. Now, this one we're just going to... I really feel like this was an obvious. We've already said it with Viacom, CBS All Access, right? We've already said it with Disney Plus. We've already said it with everything. Peacock is no different. They have signed a deal with Apple. You're going to be able to watch the Peacock on all the Apple stuff, okay? Yeah. Just like you can watch all the other stuff. You can literally just, if you have Apple, you could just go and have access to all the shit. Apps, no, because you can just access it all from right there. So, but yeah, they've iPhone, iPad, iPod Touch, the Apple TV, all the kind of, you'll be able to do it. The one thing I like, though, is that NBC Universal, we talked about this in the Peacock, they will have a free version of it. Yeah. They'll have ads, but it's free. So if you do have Apple TV, you'll be able to access NBC Universal's Peacock for free without having to have a subscription.
Yeah.
So, boom. And then, of course, they have the other tiers available also that you have to pay for. But yeah. I mean, that's cool.
Yeah. I mean, I respect that fact. I respect the hustle. But I still don't think it's going to do well.
Just saying. Peacock. It's just the name.
Yeah.
It's the name. Yeah. I'm sure they're going to have some cool content on there. They're going to try, and some uncool content like the, Saved by the Bell review. But it's just a name. Yeah. It's a horrible branding. So bad. I'm sorry, but it is.
What are you watching today? Oh, I'm streaming the Peacock. What?
Yeah.
What? What is that?
Exactly.
But conspiracy theory, devil's advocate here. I think Apple is taking this a whole different direction. Maybe they set it up to where, all right, you cut the cord, Now you just need your little Apple TV box or your Apple TV app, and then you can stream all of it right there. You don't need to download all. It'd probably save you a whole bunch of space on your Roku. Hey, like, they're smart, man.
Yeah, so smart. No, and what better way to direct people to watch your own stuff?
Exactly.
Apple's original shows and everything. If they're going there already to watch all these other ones, they're bound to go, oh, well, what's Apple got?
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, it's brilliant, man.
They're smart. So smart.
And I'm a huge fan of The Blacklist. James Spader. Are you guys fans of this show?
Really good.
I freaking love this show. They're finding another creative way to battle with production being shut down.
Makes sense.
They have announced that its upcoming season 7 finale, okay, the Kazanjian brothers, it's going to be part live action, part comic book style animation.
Oh, wow.
Remember when they did that with Get Down? Yeah. Some success, some not.
It was okay.
Yeah.
It was okay. But for a show like this, I don't know.
I don't know. This is going to be really interesting. Apparently, it was midway through shooting when it got shut down.
Yeah.
So they're trying to find a way, how can we take what we had shot and finish it? So they're going to do this, the animation part of it. Yeah. So it's going to be a kind of a mix. The people are going to voice their own stuff. Cast members, James Spader and Megan Boone, are going to record the dialogue for it.
Makes sense.
While they're, I mean, will it work? Will it won't? I don't know. But what I really like is that all of these people are getting creative on how to keep going while shit is shut down. So
just shows the hustle, man.
Yeah.
It's all about the grind.
It is about the grind.
Speaking about the Get Down, all of the cast members posted like pictures with the other cast members of the Get Down the other day. I was like, what's happening?
Right.
I hope they bring that shit back. But
right.
I mean, that's just me.
Well, and speaking of, Shamar there, like, apparently Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse was a lot closer to actually having Tom Holland and Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire in the animated film.
Oh, shit.
The deal was really close to getting done and then just didn't happen, but apparently that was on the agenda.
Wow.
And so now we know they're talking live action, right?
Yeah.
Well, Shamar said he'd be happy to play Miles Morales in the live version of it.
I feel like he's the perfect version.
He was perfect in the animated, so bring him on in if that could happen. Oh my god.
Exactly,
man.
and have fucking Donald Glover be his uncle. Oh my god.
Yeah,
because
dude.
they teased that.
They did. I just think this is a really good idea if they want to do that. And yeah, you brought it up, and he was out there talking about that, and I'm like, yeah, do it. Do a Get Down reunion
for sure,
and then do that.
Exactly. Pull it all together, man.
It's true.
Pull it all together.
All right. Well, Disney's not the only one suffering.
Yeah.
Viacom CBS, they also reported numbers this week. They saw a decline in revenue and profit for their quarter as well.
Makes sense.
However, they beat expectations by a significant amount, and that actually sent their stock up 20%, which, right? Wow. They credit that to a strong domestic streaming and digital video revenue. That makes sense.
Yeah.
The CBS All Access.
#quarantine.
Right, which that grew $471 million, up 51% over last year.
All right.
Yeah, I mean that's significant. Okay, we talked about this a little bit earlier with Disney and everything. Now, CBS All Access is apparently going to reboot this summer with a bunch of Paramount films and shows from Nickelodeon and BET and other stuff to add to it.
That's smart.
And they're rebranding.
Oh.
I don't know what it's going to be called. They haven't announced that yet, but CBS Access is rebranding, and it's going to expand internationally over the next year.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I don't think that would be a bad idea, to be honest with you, because when I didn't know anything about CBS All Access, it just sounded like another add-on to CBS. It didn't sound like an actual streaming service for them. So yeah. I mean, I feel like that possibly would be a good idea, but then at the same time, you wouldn't want to lose out on people who are thinking about CBS All Access and then go out to sign up for it and where'd it fucking go?
Right. Well, okay, they've added a bunch of shit apparently. Like just this week, 100 Paramount films were added to it. Including a lot of the Star Trek films, The Godfather, Terms of Endearment, An Inconvenient Truth. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But and to your question, which you just brought up, so Bob gave it kind of an answer to this. He said that original programming is still going to be the mine from which they dig with. That they feel like that intellectual property of original shows is their bread and butter.
Makes sense.
Like The Good Fight and Picard. I mean, Picard had a huge success.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, and so they're not going to bail on that. They're going to kind of keep going with that. So that's good news.
Yeah.
That's good news.
Yeah, and I mean, they did cancel some stuff. I mean, like Carol's second act broke, Tommy, Man with a Plan. Matt LeBlanc, that sucks.
Yes.
God Friended Me. I know your mom's mad about that
Yeah,
one.
Mom was pissed about that.
Yeah.
But, I mean, to be fair, though, they did pick up 23 of their shows.
Yeah.
That's a significant
That's a
amount
lot.
that made the cut.
Yeah.
You know, they're talking about all this, the streaming stuff, but remember, they have their actual network, CBS.
Yeah.
And we talked about it. It is the upfronts. You know, they are announcing renewals and cancellations. And like you said, I mean, those were some interesting cuts, I felt like. But the obvious is for the pickups. I mean, all the NCISs. I mean, no, that was no way in trouble.
Yeah.
Blue Blood, 60 Minutes. I was thrilled to see All Rise.
Yeah.
All Rise got picked up.
Supposed to be a really good show.
Yeah. Bob Hart's Abishola, I think I would have kept it, maybe God Friended Me over that.
Yeah.
I don't, kept it?
Yeah.
What the fuck was that? Kept it. I
Kept
don't even
it.
know what that word is.
Kepner.
The Unicorn, SWAT, fucking SEAL Team, MacGyver, the FBI stuff. Yeah, I said, fuck it, we'll go back to that in a minute.
It's the Katy Perry
Yeah,
shit,
the
basically.
Neighborhood, Magnum PI, 48 Hours, Undercover Boss, Young Sheldon, Mom, Survivor, The Amazing Race. Evil got picked up for a second season.
Interesting.
So let's get Rebecca Kennedy on that, okay?
Yes.
I really want her to be on that show.
I mean, shanking people and shit.
And Bull.
Yeah.
What the fuck, CBS?
Why?
Why?
Like, we understand that Les Moonves was a shady motherfucker, so y'all already got some shadiness going on, but this guy is such a douchebag.
Guys,
Like,
it was proven.
Proven fact.
It was proven, and you had to pay the settlement. Why is this still on the air?
Exactly.
Why is it can't be making that much fucking revenue. It just
I know.
Anyway,
Just saying.
and another big mistake CBS made, and I know you were not happy about this one, and I'm not either.
Yeah, I mean, CBS is not proceeding with The Lincoln Lawyer, the series we were talking about a while ago, honestly. But it's a high-profile legal drama from the Practice creator, David E. Kelly.
Yeah.
Which really sucks, man. We were both huge fans of the movie with Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah.
And we were excited about the actual series coming to life, but yeah, this... not going forward.
No, and I mean, guys, why would you bail on David E. Kelly?
Yeah.
Like, if you're going to do a legal drama, David E. Kelly is the guy to do it. I mean,
He
Ally
is.
McBeal, The Practice, he's had numerous legal dramas that kicked ass.
Yeah.
Why would you? I just don't even. And this is the crazy thing. It was in the final stages of pre-production when COVID shut it down.
Yeah.
The cast had all been assembled, including apparently that Logan Marshall Green is the lead, and apparently it was intense negotiations for a couple weeks to sign him and get him on. And then not so much.
And this shit just did not fall
We should
through.
say that this deal was kind of made, though, prior to the merger, prior to Viacom-CBS's merger. But, I mean, it was a commitment deal. It was a commitment deal, meaning they're going to have to pay.
Yeah, exactly.
We just said at the top of CBS's news or Viacom-CBS's news that they had a rough quarter.
Exactly.
They're losing money. They're not making... And now you're going to have to pay out for a series you're not even going to air.
Exactly.
I just feel like that's a dumb move.
I agree. Dumbass shit, man. Dumbass shit. I just do not understand.
No, and
But-
Lincoln Lawyer would have been good.
I know. But now, heading over to Netflix, part of Netflix / CBS TV.
Yeah, this is going to be a CBS thing. Like,
yeah,
what?
I know. Interesting. But Nicolas Cage, guys. Nicolas Cage is going to set the star in a scripted series centered around Joe Exotic.
Yes, Tiger King himself.
Yeah.
I mean, clearly because Netflix had so much success with it, CBS is going to try to do it.
Yeah, I mean, we saw TMZ try to do the documentary for it, and then now this as well. So
Yeah. It's based on an article, Joe Exotic, A Dark Journey into the World of the Man Gone Wild.
okay.
So here's the crazy thing, though. CBS optioned this shit back in 2019.
Damn.
June of last year. They were sitting on it. Fuck up because Netflix beat them to it and had this little series.
Exactly.
Now they're going to have to try to play catch up.
Exactly.
And be like,
'Cause
oh.
what if the hype passed? What if
Right?
like it's gone now?
I
I mean, it was like the first couple weeks of quarantine, it was the big thing, but now I feel like nobody's really talking about it.
Yeah, agreed. So you had that for a year. Maybe you could have jumped on that before Netflix.
I know. And I personally don't think Nicolas Cage is the right decision. I know he's crazy as fuck, but I don't. Dax Shepard looks so good. When he fucking did that Photoshop, Dax Shepard looked so freaking good. And I mean, yeah.
Yeah. Dax Shepard is just, he's good.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that would have been a good choice. I think you're right.
Exactly. And now heading over to Netflix. Oh my goodness, guys. Still haven't watched it, but definitely on the to-do list this weekend. Netflix's Chris Hemsworth film, The Extraction, is now getting a sequel.
Yes.
Joe Russo has closed the deal and penned a follow-up. AGBO, Russo's production company, with his brother and fellow Avengers director Anthony, said it's putting the pieces together now and starting the process.
Yeah. They're optimistic they're going to get their guy back, Sam Hargrave, to direct it again.
That's cool.
And of course, I mean, you can't do it without Chris Hemsworth.
No.
But he's obviously he was all over social media thanking the fans and said he would love to do it. So I think that negotiation's going to go well.
Yeah, that was the biggest freaking film for Netflix ever.
Yeah,
like, I mean, which they were expecting Bright to be that, but you don't see that one getting a sequel anytime soon. I mean, they said they were going to, but you don't see it.
Yeah, actually, maybe.
Really?
We've got news about that. Yeah, we've got news about that.
All right.
But Netflix did want to point out, though, that none of these deals are done for Extraction until the script is done.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure Joe is, like, hammering out.
Yeah.
I mean, with that much success.
They're busy people.
Yeah. So, and now, to your comment there, Netflix is apparently negotiating with Louis Leterrier, who did I think Hulk back in the day. I think.
Oh, really?
Or what? Yeah.
Which one though?
The new one.
Okay.
Yeah. He is apparently, they're negotiating with him to do Bright 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's going to reteam Will Smith and Joel Edgerton, obviously, but apparently negotiations are ongoing and they want to move forward with that sequel now.
Yeah.
David Ayer, who did the first one, he was going to direct it, but now he's committed to doing Dirty Dozen for Warner Brothers.
Makes sense.
So he went full forward. He wrote the sequel for Bright, so he's going to continue to be the writer on it, and he's going to produce it.
Okay.
But he just stepped away from the directing. So, I mean, that could have been the delay, maybe. Maybe it was because David Ayer was, like, all over the place, and they're like, hey, how about
they
just
tried to find
it?
someone else to actually direct it and take the realm.
Exactly. So, but if David Ayer wrote it and he's going to produce it, it's going to stay true to the original film that he directed.
Yeah.
So I feel like, okay.
Yeah.
So there you go. I mean, there was your delay. I really think
right.
that's probably what it was. Is Ayer couldn't get it all done, and
Yeah. See what happens, man. See what happens. But other filmmakers also heading over to Netflix.
Yes.
Spike Lee announced on social media his new directorial effort, Da 5 Bloods, will launch globally on the streaming platform June 12th. Many expected Da 5 Bloods to be held for the fall and launch for award season, because it's another one that might be a contender. But for the summer launch, I mean, it was not too good for his last project. I mean, The Black Klansman. So he expected more. So he's gonna release it theatrically and then put it on Netflix, right?
Yeah. But I mean, I know he probably was hoping for a little bit more, but it is one of the rare films that was released during the summer that did get nominated.
Yeah.
Most of the time when you release in the summer, it's forgotten about by the time the Oscar nominations, are voted on. And I feel like Spike should be happy that, hey, he had a summer movie that was actually still in people's minds at the end of the year. So hopefully he'll get that again with this one.
And I mean, The Black Klansman was great.
Exactly. I thought it was a fantastic film and rightfully so to get nominated. So yeah, I mean, maybe he'll see that again. Maybe he won't. I don't know.
Yeah. See what happens, man.
Yeah, I mean, I guess earning Lee an Oscar for Best Adapted Screenplay.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, it's not like he didn't win that night. So
right.
It is what it is. Other news: Blake Lively will star in Dark Days at the Magenta Carta, a post-apocalyptic thriller that is being developed at Netflix as a possibility of a trilogy.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. And she's producing. She's
right.
producing the thriller with her B for Effort production banner, cool. Along with Kate Vorthoff. So, man, talk about power couple.
Right.
Right? Fucking Blake and Ryan Reynolds, man. They're just killing it. It makes sense now, though, with the success that Ryan has seen on Netflix over the past couple of years, that Blake would get involved.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, that makes sense.
Such a good relationship there. Also, Ricky Gervais has struck an overall deal with Netflix. The Office creator will develop new scripted projects for the digital platform, as well as stand-up specials as part of the multi-year deal. I mean, stand-up is huge on Netflix right now. They put new ones out like all the time, and I believe he's a part of Space Force as well.
Yeah, that makes sense.
He was the creator of The Office, creator of Space Force. So,
right. I mean, he's got a good relationship with Netflix. This makes sense that they sign an overall deal with him for sure.
Yeah.
This next one. Apparently, the hottest spec script in Hollywood right now that everybody is trying to get is Ball and Chain.
Oh.
It's Dwayne Johnson and Emily Blunt. You know, they're doing that Disney movie together, right? The Jungle Adventure, Jungle Cruise. But apparently they've signed on to do this one. They're going to play a bickering couple who get superpowers that only work if they can put aside their differences and make their marriage work. That's the only way.
Sounds like Fantastic Four comedy.
I mean, it's going to be pretty funny. I think The Rock does action and comedy really well.
I agree.
You know, so how we're going to see Emily Blunt go into that, I don't know, but I think this sounds like an interesting premise, and The Rock hasn't missed yet. He's doing pretty well, right?
Yeah.
So apparently, like I said, it's the hottest thing right now. Several studios are going after it, but it looks like Netflix has got the lead.
Yeah.
It looks like this is going to end up at Netflix. So.
Shelling out more money.
Exactly.
Like,
is this going to be another $200 million one? I mean, we don't know.
So crazy. Still waiting for that Gal Gadot, The Rock, and Ryan Reynolds one. I want to see that one.
I know, but I mean, they couldn't start filming.
Yeah.
So I mean, that sucks. You shell out $200 million and then wait a minute, production halted. We can't do it. Like, what the fuck?
COVID-19.
Yeah.
Heading over to Amazon, they've just been rocking and rolling with episodic series. Amazon Studios had landed the conspiracy thriller series, The Terminal List, starring and executive produced by Chris Pratt. And this is going to be his return to television, I believe, since Parks and Rec. So,
right.
I mean, that'll be epic. It's an ongoing drama that will be directed and executive produced by Antoine Fuqua. Sure. The Terminal List follows James Reese, a.k.a. Chris Pratt, after his entire platoon of Navy SEALs is ambushed during a high-stakes covert mission. Reese returns home to his family with conflicting memories of the event and questions about his capability with life, basically. And to help the authenticity, the Terminal List intends to have veterans and their families as much as part of the multiple aspects of the series of production, starring, and writing. So that's going to be huge, I feel like.
I mean, that's the only way I think that you make these things legit is if you actually bring in people who have gone through it.
For sure.
But can I just say, I mean, Chris Pratt as a Navy SEAL, that's going to be badass.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
I can see that.
Remember, just a few years ago, this was the pudgy guy on Parks and Rec.
Exactly.
Right? Like, now he's a Navy
ripped.
SEAL.
Fucking Star-Lord.
Now I'm playing Navy SEALs.
Yeah.
I mean, I like this, though. I think it's going to be, it sounds like a really good series. We know a lot of people come back with some issues and have to kind of deal with.
Yeah.
And again, we talked about this on the show last week, but series that force a conversation about this type of
bringing awareness,
stuff.
Man.
Yeah, it's necessary. And Chris Pratt, good for you. And I think this is going to be a huge success. I really do. Amazon, man, another one that's not scared to take risks.
No.
Not scared to talk about things.
No, and I mean, this is they really like doing this. They like to make series out of podcasts.
Yeah.
Because they also did that with Pretty Woman there.
Right.
Fucking
Julia Roberts,
Julia Roberts for, I forget what it's called, but it's now on Amazon, so you can go watch that. But this one, The Horde of Dolores Roach, a Blumhouse Television drama series adaptation of the Gimlet podcast, is now in development at Amazon.
Yeah. Dara Resnick, the co-creator of the podcast and Apple's Home Before Dark, she's boarded the project as the showrunner and is going to work alongside Aaron Mark. I guess that he's just signed a first look deal with Blumhouse.
Makes sense.
Apparently it's described as a grotesque Sweeney Todd inspired tale of eat or be eaten.
Oh shit.
Oh, Like,
wow.
I mean, it's about cannibalism, guys.
Yeah.
I haven't listened to the podcast. I'm not familiar with the podcast, but that sounds pretty interesting.
Right? Wow. And I mean, we're going to be talking about urban legend of love, betrayal, weed, gentrification, cannibalism, and the survival of the fittest.
I mean, good. Like we said, Amazon is willing to take chances.
Yeah.
This one sounds iffy, but it sounds cool.
I know.
So I think,
I hope this whole thing doesn't stem from if you smoke weed, you get so hungry that you eat people.
Ooh, yeah.
Like, that's a lot
But
But
I got the munchies. Where's Billy?
What? His ear looks great.
Oh, man. Speaking of taking chances.
Oh, yeah.
Are you ready for this one? This guy takes chances all the time. He jumps off buildings. He does his own skydiving. He does he's 50-something years old, but still wants to do all his own stunts.
So wild.
We're talking about the man himself, Maverick, Top Gun, Tom Cruise.
Highway to the moon.
That's right. That's right. Being in the sky isn't enough.
No.
Tom Cruise wants to go to space. He wants to go to space. Apparently, he's partnering with NASA to shoot a movie aboard the space station and in space.
That's wild.
Yeah,
that is
in
wild.
Space. Not on a soundstage, not fake. Actually shoot it on the space station and in space.
Yeah.
Tom Cruise.
I just want to, it's going to be such a different, literal atmosphere to try to get everything. They're going to have to put the, zero gravity on where they're so you can put the fucking tripod on. But what if you don't put the tripod on? You're literally floating upside down shit.
It is going to be the weirdest, but yet probably coolest thing ever.
I'm interested.
I mean, he's also teaming with Elon Musk. I guess that's how they're going to get up there, SpaceX, because we know the shuttle isn't in service anymore and all that kind of stuff. But they were smart enough to also team with NASA.
Yeah.
It's not a Mission Impossible movie.
No.
They want to make that perfectly clear. This is not a next installment in Mission Impossible, although it sounds like an impossible mission, doesn't it? But it is not. So there you have it. We were talking about this off camera before we started the show and everything, but I just think it's brilliant because it's like $200, $300, $500 million for a civilian to buy his way into space.
Yeah.
Tom Cruise just figured out how to get there for free.
Exactly.
I'm looking to make a movie and they'll pay for it.
It'll be great.
That's fucking brilliant, Tom. It's brilliant. You want to go to space? Make a movie and get them to pay for it. It's fantastic.
I know.
What's the budget on that?
I know. I want to know.
I mean, because it's like $200 million to get to space before you do anything, and then you've got to do the budget of the movie, right? So, I mean, this thing's probably going to cost close to, $500 million to make. And then how does that make money? I don't know, Tom Cruise.
I know. I don't know, Tom Cruise. Hashtag I don't know, Tom Cruise. That's
Tom Cruise in space.
Oh my goodness.
That Tom Cruise is Space Force.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I could see it. I could see it. Mr. President, I volunteer as tribute. What? You're too short, Tom. Actually, I'm the perfect size, Mr. President.
That's right.
I don't know.
It's gonna be just good for you, Tom Cruise.
Maybe that should be our next improv skit, like Donald Trump and Tom Cruise talking about joining Space Force.
That would be interesting. That would be actually really fun.
I know, right? I know. Now the next one, E1 hashtag Entertainment One, has set a first look agreement with producer Jeremy Leacham, who has previously served as senior vice president of production and development at Marvel Studios.
This makes total sense because E1 just acquired the rights to Hasbro.
Yeah.
And we've been talking about this before. Hasbro wants to, the Transformers, they want to make a universe.
Yeah.
They want their guys all G.I. Joe and Transformers and all that. So it makes sense to go to a Marvel guy that was part of the process of building the MCU, right?
Universe. I mean, which apparently they're doing another G.I. Joe movie. So, I mean, please don't put them all together.
No.
I like the Bumblebee movie. I like that
too.
one. And I haven't seen the Shia LaBeouf Transformers, but I heard those two were really good.
Yeah, no, the original live-action Transformers was, badass. The second one was okay. The third one you shouldn't have done. I'm a huge Mark Wahlberg fan, but without Shia, it just kind of lost some stuff. But the rumor is that they're using Bumblebee and they're going to eventually tie it into Shia LaBeouf's first one.
Which would be great.
Yeah, because the Bumblebees are like the prequel to kind of a thing.
Yeah.
But this idea of building a universe, and I'm sure to his credit, he probably sold himself saying, "Hey, I helped build the MCU.
For sure.
I can build this one too."
For sure.
Don't. Universal failed. They wanted to do their Monsters universe. You remember Tom Cruise came out with a new Mummy remake and it fucking bombed horribly.
So bad.
And they like, well, maybe we won't do a fucking Don't do it. MCU just, they struck lightning. It's like, I feel a one-time thing. DC has failed miserably trying to recreate it with their superheroes. Yeah. I just don't think this can be done again. No. I just don't.
I mean, there's only one Marvel, guys. There's only one Marvel. James Cameron, back the fuck up. I haven't talked shit about James Cameron in a while, but
no, we haven't.
I mean, we respect him. We should say that we respect him and his artistic ability. We love the Terminator, so I mean, he's a good filmmaker.
He's a solid filmmaker, and
kind
I love,
of a douche, though.
Yeah, this whole, I feel like he's just coming out with all these avatars just to take down Avengers.
Maybe.
Because he's so...
I still don't think they'll be as popular, though.
I don't think so. I don't think you're going to beat the last Endgame. I don't think that box office record is going to be beat unless Marvel beats it again.
Yeah.
I don't know. Good luck, Cameron. That's all I'm saying.
Good luck, Cameron. Hashtag.
Ooh. And good luck to all of these people.
Yeah.
All of the theaters that are getting ready to open.
Yeah.
Look at what happened in Texas.
Yeah, last week, freaking Texas began loosening its state coronavirus restrictions and allowing movie theaters and select businesses to reopen the doors for function at 25% capacity.
25%.
Remember, just 25.
Yeah, all these people are talking about doing it at 50%. This was just 25%.
Exactly. And then the day they reopened, the AP, Associated Press, reported Texas was hit with more than 1,000 new coronavirus cases.
Yes.
Holy shit. Not saying that it's caused by the theaters and stuff being reopened, but it's not the right time.
No, and that was the third day in a row that 1,000+ people got it.
Exactly.
So, I mean, think about that. 1,293 new cases. It was the second highest single day total in Texas. Guys, that's at 25%. You're talking 50% for all these movies.
Exactly.
To their credit, most of the larger theater chains aren't going for it. Even if their states allow, they're not going to open. They're like, we don't have new movies to show. We don't think it's safe. So they're not doing it. So.
I don't blame them. I don't
either.
Them. I mean, it's... Not yet, guys. Not yet. We got to do it in smaller phases.
That's right.
Like.
Crazy shit. Look, I miss going to see the movies.
Me too.
I do.
So much.
I do, but I don't miss it enough to get sick.
I don't want to die.
So let's just rethink this. I understand that the studios are struggling. I understand that all this kind of stuff's going on, but we got to be smart about it.
I agree. But now it is time for our guest segment.
Yes.
Oh, my goodness.
Speaking of smart, right?
Smart, educated, phenomenal person. One of the most humblest people we've ever talked to on Inside the Crazy Ant Farm.
She was literally going to be a thoracic heart surgeon.
I know.
What? I mean, this girl is brilliant. What?
I know. Adrienne Rae coming on to talk about her new hit sci-fi series,
Vagrant Queen.
There we go.
Yes, Vagrant Queen.
And she's just, like I said, just such an amazing person. Definitely an up-and-comer that's going to have a huge career ahead of her. I'm so excited for the up-and-comers to listen to this interview.
Absolutely. She passes along brilliant advice, and she clearly loves her fans and her fandom, and she's doing everything right.
Yeah.
She's doing everything right. This is a really good interview.
Yeah, I agree. Such a great person. Now, here she is.
All right, Adrienne Rae, welcome inside the Crazy Ant Farm. How are you today?
I am doing great. Thank you for having me.
Oh, you're very welcome. Thank you for joining us. We're pretty excited about this one, Vagrant Queen. Not very often we get royalty inside the farm.
Right. Queen without the crown.
That's right. How's that going in quarantine, by the way? How's the Queen in quarantine? Is that going all right? Or?
No, it's going really well. I'm like, this is my normal life. Like the stores that I usually go to aren't open.
That makes it, I feel the same way, kind of. Like, I'm just keeping like my, might have to do it over here or over there, but I'm pretty much doing the same thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, listen, we're really excited. First of all, congratulations on the show. Like I said, Vagrant Queen, sci-fi, epic little space opera, and we're definitely going to be talking about that without doubt. You've been in, some serious stuff. We're super excited to talk to you about all the stuff that you've been in. But what we like to do first is kind of introduce you to our listeners a little bit and kind of how you got into the industry, how you got started, and, you know, stuff like that. So was this something you always like, this is my dream, I've got to do this? Was it something you always saw yourself doing, or was this just kind of like you came into it?
No, I definitely fell into it. If you would have asked me when I was 5 years old what I wanted to be, I would have told you a cardiothoracic surgeon.
Oh,
wow. Dream set high.
And I went to school and I majored in physician assistant studies and medical laboratory science studies. And while I was in school, I was someone came up to me and they said, "Hey, you want to be a part of our record label?"
Oh, wow.
And I said, "Sure." And they were like, "But you got to like really focus on it. We don't have time for like the whole school thing." And I was like, "Oh, okay." Well, I told my mom, and she was like, "No, you're gonna finish your degree."
Right.
So,
smart mom.
So I finished it, and like when I hit the button, we had to take a board certification as medical laboratory scientists. I hit the button and it said pass. I called my mom and said, okay, mom, I'm moving to Atlanta because that's where all the music is.
That's right.
And I moved, and through, you know, being on set and dabbling into acting or music, I fell into acting, and I was on a set, and people were like, "You should really look into it. They're shooting a lot of stuff here." And I got a mentor, and I just started training. And when I got on set, I fell in love with it. It was like the perfect place for me. It was like I would have been there for free, and I was just so grateful that they were still paying me.
Isn't it? It's like such a huge adrenaline rush when you're on the set, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like there's no way to describe it. There's no other feeling like it in the world. So it's always fun to hear people say that. And you could, of course, been a set medic. You didn't have to do it for free. You could have been, hey, you know, you got that background, girl. You could be a set medic. You'd be all right.
Right.
Well, okay, so you go there for music initially though, and kind of work your way into the acting and everything. That's really good. Mm-hmm. And we were talking about this before we started talking to you, but we're really interested in this because at the time that you've come into the industry, I mean, the push towards diversity has kind of really been to the forefront now, which wasn't the case before. And you've kind of come into the industry at a time where rightfully so, it needs to be at the forefront. How has that helped your approach towards your career, or you know, your approach on what you were doing? Because like you said, you know, hey, I went to Atlanta because the music was there and they were booming in the film industry and stuff like that. But how has that changed your game as far as your career went?
Well, I mean, as far as how I curate my career, it doesn't change it much. I pick roles that are authentic and good for me and things like that. But they have to resonate with me. It just so happens that I do hold very dearly to my heart the fact that I am an African American woman, and I am, you know, acting and hoping to open the walls and break down these walls and doors that Hollywood has put up when it comes to diversity, especially in genres like sci-fi.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, it's very rare to see, you know, a Black female lead in a sci-fi genre show or movie. So I personally, I take it like it's very close to my heart, and it's one of those things where I'm like, I know like I deal with some things that are not the best because of, you know, we're still in this culture where sometimes people are internet bullies, or they show their prejudice and things like that. And I know that I'm going through these things to help others in the future to be able to, you know, be in this space and show the world like, hey, we can do this, and we don't have to tell the same stories. We don't have to be white. We don't have to all be heterosexual. It can be diversity in all forms, and that's okay. It's relatable, and there are new stories that need to be told.
Absolutely. Wow. Perfect answer. Perfect answer. I mean, and I love the approach. I mean, I like how you've kind of like, I'm going to put this on me, and I know I'm going to get some stuff, and I'm going to take some heat, but I'm going to do this anyway because I'm passionate about it, and it's important. And I really love people who have that enthusiasm and that drive and that passion. And it always signals to me that you're doing stuff for the right reason and not for the wrong reason, you know, because we see so many people get into this industry that are there for the fame and the fortune and all the wrong reasons and get caught up in all the wrong stuff, you know? So to see somebody refreshing and say, no, this is an important thing that I'm doing, and I'm going to take this and I'm passionate about it. So refreshing.
Yeah, especially in, like you said, the entertainment industry, where you need to have like the thickest of the thick skin,
right?
To where where like
Yeah.
you get turned down basically left and right, basically 90% auditioning, 10% actually acting, and especially in the day and age of social media where, like you said, there are those internet trolls and internet bullies that will just try to get you down so much. So how has like social media played an impact on your career? Do you think it's vital to have social media in the day and age, or is it really not that worth it, especially with the trolls? Like, how do you feel about social media?
I feel like social media is a tool that you can use, but it depends on what type of career you want to create and what roles you want.
Mm-hmm.
I just feel like, how do I put this? Denzel Washington, I don't feel like is like trying to get roles via his Instagram.
Right.
But that's because of the roles that he does. But there are also people who, they make Instagram sketches and skits and they do comedy and
Mm-hmm.
they're noticed for that. And then they get to be on, the silver screen and things like that because they started in this social media realm and they were able to show people, they were able to get such a viewership
Mm-hmm.
that the right people seen it and they were able to, take their career to the next level. So I think it's important to use it in the best way possible and also not to allow it to consume your craft.
Yes.
If that makes sense. Like you still have to work outside of just making social media sketches and things like that.
Right.
You still have to do the work. You can't just say, hey, I made a cute Instagram video once and it went viral. I got 1 million views. So you should just give me this role on Westworld.
Right.
It doesn't really work like that.
I feel you.
I just love the way you started because the fact is Denzel would still have to be Denzel even if he was
Exactly.
doing it on Instagram, right? Like,
Exactly.
Exactly.
it's like, no, I can't act anymore, but my Instagram is fine. Yeah,
Right.
that's. I just love it.
But
Denzel
you
ain't
know
doing
what
it.
It's great for viewership. It's great
It
for
is.
I love it because I never used Twitter before.
Mm-hmm.
And then I remember Sci-Fi, they were like, we want to get your Twitter popping. Because I had like 20 people following me on Twitter.
Mhm.
And they were all like my cousins.
Yeah. Like,
I was like, okay. And I started using it more, started using it for Vagrant Queen, and I get so much interaction. And I've actually I know people who they consider themselves #vagrants or vagrant erpers, and I know their names. I've popped in on Zooms, and they came in on my Instagram lives, and we do Fan Friday now, and I can do that via social media in the midst of COVID-19.
yeah.
Right.
So I mean, it's a great way to interact with fans and have engagement for sure.
Absolutely. And so many of the studios and the networks are using that for that exact purpose, for marketing. I mean, how many times now do you see that the shows require live tweeting while it's on, and kind of for the back and forth interaction. So I agree with you. I do think it's a perfect marketing tool for sure. And I love the Fan Friday idea. That's awesome.
Yeah, seriously, I bet it helps out a lot, especially like you said, getting to know your fans and what they like and what they disliked about like the show or a certain episode. That's really, I feel like, good for the character and possibly good for further going on with the show.
Yeah, you definitely learn, where people's mindsets are regarding the show, that you learn what they love, what really resonates with them, and you learn about them, period, like what your fan base is actually like,
Right.
who's actually watching you and what's important to them. Like I find that a lot of my fan base, they're in the LGBTQ plus community, and it really means a lot to them that we have this relationship on Vagrant Queen with Alita and May.
Right.
And knowing that, I think it's great, and now I know, like, okay, this is really like what they want to see, or this is what they would want to talk about, so we can discuss this. If you have questions, let's talk about that. Instead of giving them the same things where they can like look at my bio and be like, "Where are you from?" See for Delaware, like,
Right.
Well, I think it goes a long way because I feel like when you're on a show or you're in a movie and stuff, you're expecting people to invest part of their time out of their day or out of their week to watch you, and I think it goes a long way when people like yourself or other celebrities or other stars of these shows show that, hey, we're willing to invest a little of our time to talk to you and say thank you and what do you like and I just think that goes a really long way with showing your fans that you're invested in them as much as you want them to be invested in you and your project and what you're doing. So
That's literally the reason I did Fan Friday.
That's epic, yeah.
Reason.
Yeah, and
I was like, the Vagrant Earpers, like, there were a lot of fans of Wynonna Earp who they're fans of Wynonna Earp and Tim, and Tim's and Wynonna Earp, so they all started watching Vagrant Queen simply for that. But then they were just super, super, super supportive, and I was like, wow, like, I mean, when trolls come around, they like will report them, beat them.
Right? Yeah, definitely. Get them out of here.
You know, they're doing like hashtag Renew Vagrant Queen, and they're doing tweet power hours to get us renewed and things like that. And I was like, man, like, they've invested so much time and so much love and energy in me. I want to personally say thank you. And I don't feel like just making a generalized tweet does it.
Yeah.
So I just came up with this idea where I was like, okay, I can do Instagram lives, and we can request to be in each other's lives, and I can talk to them, or I can pop in on their Zooms. And, you know, I did it. It was supposed to be from 7:30 to 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. I ended up doing it from 7:30 to 11:30.
Oh, wow.
I was popping in Zooms, but because I got on there and I was like, I'll do 10 minutes. I did 11 different sessions, but 10 minutes wasn't enough. And it's because also in the Zoom, there were like 14 people in there. So you got to get to, you know, you're having these conversations, you get caught up laughing, we're crying. It was so much fun.
Oh, absolutely. That sounds like a lot of fun. I mean, it's definitely a movement that's being made that I think is a good thing. And I just love how enthusiastic you are about it. And let's be real, fandom is a powerful thing.
Oh, yeah.
These people, if they get behind you, that is a powerful movement. Like you said, they will take care of bullies. They will like get your show renewed.
Exactly.
Will, and you don't want to mess with fandom. So I love that you're so good with that.
Exactly.
That's fantastic.
It really shows like your type of character, how you take time out of your day and just spend time with your fans and like just interact with them and get very personable with them. It surely shows how awesome of a person you are.
Seriously.
Thank you.
Of course.
And we all know now the Queen is a triple threat, right? You were singing and you got the acting, you've done some modeling. I mean, you got it going on, right?
Killing it.
I try. I mean, I dabble.
It's like I wanted to be in the heart stuff, but you know, I can sing and do all this other stuff.
Right.
So, that's fantastic. You should do like a singing episode of Grey's Anatomy or The
Right,
Resident
like-
or something.
Oh my God.
Atlanta,
Can we
right?
just talk about how I love Grey's?
Yes,
Grey's is
let's
one of my
talk
favorite
about it.
shows.
Let's talk about it. We
I've been
just
watching Grey's since 2007.
epic.
I am like an original Grey's fan.
That's
Oh my
so
goodness.
And I
great.
love it.
Over the past year, I just caught up all 15 seasons, and then now I'm watching the Where We Are Now. And what do you think about the Karev thing? Okay, I just gotta ask, what's up with? What do you think about Karev?
Wait, I'm not caught up on the.
Oh, I'm
no,
sorry. I'm
no.
sorry. Then no spoilers. I won't say anything.
I just know he left the show. That's all I know. But I
Okay,
don't know.
okay. Just wait. Just wait.
That is fun. Speaking of, you've been on some serious stuff. Atlanta, I mean, American Soul, Star.
Yes.
I mean, come on now. I mean, I loved Star. Like seriously, I couldn't get enough of Empire. I was like horrified at the way that ended. So I just congratulations on that. I mean, and what's it
you.
like? I mean, Atlanta. That we've had several people on the
Yeah.
show that have been on Atlanta, and they talk about the environment on that set.
Yeah,
What was
we're
that like?
huge
amazing,
fans
right?
of Donald Glover, man.
Oh yeah.
First of all, 3005, Freaks and Geeks, and Bonfire
So good. So
are
good.
my song.
Hell yeah.
I become a full-blown rapper.
There you go.
I love it.
Yeah, Donald is so real. He's so talented, so amazing, and it's just like it's like you catch yourself just talking to a regular person, but then you look up and you're like, no, this is Donald Glover.
Right,
I'm
exactly.
tripping right now.
It's like, oh no. Oh, that's awesome. And
But
it's good to hear too.
Yeah, and the energy on the set is, I mean, everybody, it's one of those sets where literally there's so much creative collaboration and everybody is so great at their jobs, and then they have creative freedom within their jobs, and it all kind of like they put it in this big pot, and they're like, I know how to do this, and I do this cool, and I do this cool, and they put it in this pot, and out comes something that's so raw and authentic and amazing, and just like, how did y'all think of that?
Right?
It's like because so many like different creative pieces are in there, and it just works, and it's like it has such a good flow to it. I mean, I love all the cast and crew. I mean, Gail, Danielle, Zazie, Lakeith, everybody just killed it, and it was like really amazing.
Yeah, it sounds amazing.
Yeah, and I mean, people are just blowing up from that show too. I mean, you got people popping up in like The Photograph, and now you got people popping up in like Marvel's Eternals. Like everybody, this show is like a breaking ground for like the next big stars. So I mean, you're one of them. Exactly. You're one of them.
It will launch you, won't it?
Exactly.
And I mean, you can't help but like to hearing you talk about how the environment was and all this creative process that goes into it. You can't help but once you're on that set, have some of that rub off.
Yeah,
start to learn. I mean, I can only imagine the wealth of knowledge that you learn on a set like that.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
And being a triple threat, though, I got to ask, do you find that more of a challenge because you have to spread yourself, like I want to do this and I want to do this, or is there a favorite out of the three that you prefer, or how do you balance your time between all that?
Well, what I've learned is I'm very good at compartmentalizing.
There you go.
And I will, focus on one task at hand. So recently, the reason like my new music and stuff hasn't come out is because I've really been focused on acting.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of feel like these are careers where you have to give 100%. Whatever you put in is what you'll get out. So
yeah,
I have to give 100% to acting to actually break through, this level of just auditioning and not getting yeses, and then this level of trying to be seen and people actually know who I am, and this level of being respected for my work. And, there's different things that you have to do and give to the craft to get things back in return. So I've been focusing on that 100% at the moment.
There you go. Well, I like that, though, because I think sometimes it could be detrimental to the career if you do try to do too much all at once and try to spread yourself thin. You're gonna hurt all of them instead of help one of them. So that's a smart approach. And okay, let's talk about Vagrant Queen, because I mean it's kicking ass. It's sci-fi, man. I love how sci-fi grabs these original things and puts them out there and just is willing to take risks on stuff. You know, I can only imagine sometimes somebody's pitching this and they're like, no, it's a space opera and we're gonna do this and we're gonna do, and sci-fi has never been scared to take a chance. Yeah, and I really like that. And this show proves that when you take a chance and it clicks, it can work. And I mean, this is blowing up. And you brought up a really good point, though. And I want to talk to you about the responsibility of carrying the lead of this show, because, like you said, sci-fi is not a genre really known for African-American lead actresses. I mean, what was the gap between Lieutenant Uhura, who wasn't even a lead, by the way back in Star Trek, to where we're at now? There was a gap there where it was just not even recognized. So I got to imagine that responsibility that you have to carry a show, because let's when you're number one on the call sheet, you're carrying the show.
Yeah, definitely.
So what when you found out you were going to get it and you found out what it was about and you going in for the audition and everything, what was that like, and the process for that? It had to be overwhelming a little bit, right?
Well, the auditioning process, I was at a point where I was on a show already. I was on Light as a Feather.
Mm-hmm.
And, I was like at this place where I was like not in my bag, but I was like, I had the confidence to say, all right, I have enough money to live my life right now.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't have to like be desperate.
Right. That's always helpful.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So then I was like, all right, I'm just going to make what I think is cool.
There you go.
That was like the key thing. I really think that was the key thing to me booking Vagrant Queen, is because I got this audition, and in the first scene, she's falling out of a ceiling and she finds some space junk. And I was like, in my mind, I see it that way.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to shoot it how exactly in my mind I see it. So I did my self-tape exactly how I seen it in my mind, made my own little mini movie, and I like jumped off a chair into the air, fell into the scene, so it looked like I came from the ceiling.
That's epic.
I was wearing like these like cool leather things that were all binded up, and I had this like thing where I could hold a gun. I had a gun in there. It was like I was just doing what I thought was fun. So that was how I originally auditioned, and we got the call back, and then after 5 days after getting the call back, I got a call saying, hey, can I speak to Alita from my manager? And I remember I was in Rouse and I was freaking out. I had to hurry up and get out of Rouse because I needed to scream and stuff.
I really like that, though. I mean, because we were talking about networks taking chances, but actors have to take chances, right? Like, no, I really like this. I'm going to do it because I like it, and I don't care if it's risky. I mean, I think sometimes that proves to be the biggest success.
Exactly, and I love how you were
it's
just
either
having
going to work
fun.
or it's not going to work.
Exactly, and I just love how you were just having fun with the whole process, because that's what it's all about. Like, at the end of the day, just loving what you're doing.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. Well, and I'm always like, who are you going to cast? Are you going to cast the person that's just sitting in a chair with the green screen behind him, or the white wall behind him, or are you going to get the person that's in costume jumping off chairs with a gun? Like, just like that's enthusiasm. This person is going to show up every day on set and give it. Like that's who I'm looking for.
Okay? I'm giving it my all in this.
This girl is not sitting in the chair; she is jumping off of it. It's going to be all right. That's good. I love that.
Exactly,
Man. So good.
exactly. You just set the bar, okay? Because we are also a production company, so for anybody who does not jump off chairs and land, like they are not getting the role.
I'm literally in the process of deleting like 85 self-tapes. No chair jump, no chair, no costume, no. It's like gone.
Yeah.
Like even for Atlanta, if you've seen my episode with Champagne Poppy, where I was holding the phone and I'm talking to the phone, and then I start talking to my friends later.
Yeah.
Right.
I had a self-tape for that. I booked that off self-tape, and I actually used my cell phone and then jumped. Like I used my cell phone to shoot that first part, and then I cut to a wider shot, a medium wide that had, me talking to my friends like a regular self-tape.
Nice.
And I started it off with that picture, like an actual video of me on the phone.
Well, you know what, and talking about that with the self-tape, that's great. It kind of makes me curious because I'm a little bit older. I remember when you had to go in for the cattle calls and everything. Do you like self-tape? I guess because someone's so confident like yourself, it just gives you, because I feel like back in the day with the cattle calls, you go in, there's 100 other people that look exactly like you. You walk in the room and you think these guys just want to see just this. I feel like self-tapes give you so much more freedom and liberty to be creative about how you want to approach it, right?
Yeah, and I love it. It's definitely a risk because you don't have someone there to say, can you wheel that in? Or, oh, actually, it's more like this. You don't have someone there to give you a note.
Right.
So it's all like, I have all the freedom, and this is what I'm going to do. And you just got to hope they like it. But my agent calls me the queen of self-tapes. And he's like, I don't know anyone who's booked all these things. I mean, the thing I booked in person was Light as a Feather. Everything else has been on self-tape.
Right.
And
That's epic.
he's like, yeah, you're the queen of self-tapes.
That's epic.
But yeah, I like the freedom that it gives you. And, you're doing it in the comfort of your home. And you don't have to deal with parking and all the other stuff. But there is also a thing of going in the room, killing it, getting that chemistry with the casting director when you're reading. You see that they enjoyed what you made, and you be like, yeah, I did that. And there's that audition high that you have when you're leaving the call.
Hell yeah.
Just got an audition.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Like, and comparing it to like theater, when you can tell right away the audience is buying what you're doing, you get that high.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. So I could see that. I get that. But I think you're the queen of self-tape because you could just tell just in this interview, your enthusiasm and your passion about what you do, that coupled with the fact that you've got the talent, there's no doubt in my mind that's why people are scooping you up.
Exactly.
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, you're very welcome, and thank you for being so entertaining. I mean, we love the show, and this interview is fantastic. We really love people who just kick back, are themselves, and have a good time. That's our favorite.
I try. I don't know how else to be.
Exactly.
Anything else is exhausting.
I agree. Well, yeah, I was just about to talk about that. I mean, the ego thing versus being like confident in yourself. Like a lot of actors get like this huge head when they get this big role, and then after the role, like they get so down on themselves. But just being self-confident like yourself will get you so much further in this industry than just that one and done because you don't believe in yourself after that peak of success. But that, yeah, like I said, that self-confidence that you have is just amazing. And like we do this podcast for like up and comers trying to break into the industry, and this is definitely going to help them a lot trying to figure out their mental health and what to think and what not to think. So we really appreciate you, man.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I mean, the industry's hard, and just to speak to that on the mental health of it all, I mean, it's important to make sure that you find a balance.
Yeah.
It's important that you have some stake outside of acting. I know that you want to give it, 100%, and as you should, but you also have to make sure you take care of yourself because you are your instrument.
Yes.
So you need to make sure that you're in a mental space to be able to take on these these stories, these arcs, these traumatic events that happen in some of the things that we're portraying, and you have a reservoir to hold them in, and then you can let it go and release it and it not affect your actual life. So mental health is so important, and making sure you take care of yourself and love yourself enough to have the confidence and continue to do what you love. Super important.
Definitely.
Wow, well said. So you mentioned your music. You said let's talk about that a little bit. Do you have something coming in the works that we're going to be able to hear pretty soon, or what about all that?
I would love to say yes, but I used to, and then I re-listened to it, and the perfectionist in me was like, redo it all. So
it's like that.
So I'm gonna redo that album. And I think it's gonna be gonna be really great when I redo it because I've grown and my voice has grown, my vocal ability has grown. So I'm excited for that.
Fantastic. Well, even more reason to have you back on the show when that comes out.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And even more so like what Logan was just talking about with our fans. I love that attitude. It's like, well, I thought I did, but no, I went back and listened to it. No, I'm going to redo it all. Like, to be smart enough to know this isn't where I need it to be, where I want it to be.
Exactly.
You know, there's not a lot of people, you know, some people just throw that stuff out there thinking it's good enough. And good enough is not good enough, right?
Right. No.
So,
we don't want mediocrity.
Exactly.
That's why we're not doing it for that, right?
So you got to be jumping off chairs. You got to be like falling into the scene. Like
That's
you
right.
need all that.
In this chair.
I swear I cannot get past it. I love it. I love it so
swear,
much.
We are going to slide into your Instagram video and we're going to be jumping off chairs. It's going to be fantastic. You know, might even get up on our desk and like fly off. I don't know.
My God.
I would love it. I would love it.
That's so good. So good.
Book them.
Yes.
Yes. So what? Okay, let's. What we like to do at the end, because like Logan said, we do have a lot of listeners who are trying to get into the industry and they really look for the advice and stuff. What advice would you give to people trying to follow that path and get into the industry? And what pitfalls would you kind of like say, hey, watch out for this. This might be something you got to look out for.
I would give them the advice of train.
Mm-hmm.
And then I know everyone wants to automatically like find an agent and all that other stuff. But I promise you, if you find a safe, amazing place to train and a coach that believes in you, those coaches are connected to people that will get you with an agent when you're ready. So I don't think the first thing people should do is say, I'm an actor, so I need an agent.
Mm-hmm.
I think it should be, I want to be an actor, so I need to train. I need to understand the craft. I need to, you know, create who I am and understand me as an artist and what I can bring and what my strengths and weaknesses are and what I can work on, all those things. And then the other stuff I promise will come. It will come with it. It's the weirdest thing, but it works. I don't know. You'll be in acting class. You'll have an acting coach, and then your acting coach will be like, "Do you have an agent?" And you'll be like, "No." And then they're like, "We have these people coming in for this ensemble thing that we're doing, and you should put something up." And then all of a sudden, look at you. You have an agent, and then you go on audition, and then you book your first co-star.
Boom.
It's the weirdest, but like fluidic thing that happens. And the pitfalls would be, watch out for these people that be selling you these dreams. That like anyone who has to work really hard to sell you a dream, it's that ain't right.
Yeah. Too good to be true.
Because honestly, you'll get anyone who, like the genuine people who actually are going to do something for you, they'll do it because they believe in you, and it won't be something like you have to give all this, you have to do all this extra stuff. It'll literally just be like, yo, I believe in you. I think we can make a lot of money together, and I think you're talented. And that'll be what's happening. But watch out for the people who are just, you know, shifty and shady, and they're doing things out of their own ego, and it's not really going to be a good move for you.
Great advice.
Watch your interactions.
Definitely. But and also something else, because, you know, we talked about it's all about social media. So where can people follow you now?
Oh, everything's under my name. Very easy. Adrian, ADRIYANRAE.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
Fantastic.
that's
That makes things way easier.
There's no way
for
they
us.
listened to this interview and heard about the Instagram and don't want to follow her now. They're like, no, we got to get up on that.
Exactly. But thank you so much for taking some time out of your day and talking with us, because this was just an absolute blast, to be honest with you.
Oh, man, thank you for interviewing me. This is a blast for me, too.
Of
Well,
course.
good. We like to have people have fun inside the farm. Otherwise, what's the point, right?
Right.
And we got to make sure to tell everybody, Vagrant Queen, Sci-Fi's Thursday nights. Make sure y'all are watching, because it switched nights, and we want to make sure everybody knows Thursday nights. Yes, and just congratulations, continued success, and anytime you want to come back on, open invite. Even if you just want to come and jump off chairs with us, we're totally down.
Yeah. Yeah, let's do it.
Hell
I've
yeah.
been working on my kicks and martial arts practice. So
Fantastic.
I think my jump is even better now.
There you go. I'll tell you what, the medical community lost a good one with you, but boy, did the entertainment industry find a gem, right?
Seriously.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much for this.
You bet. Amazing. You have a great rest of the week, okay?
You too. Stay safe.
All right, you too. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Oh, so good, so good. It's always so fun to talk to the up-and-comers that, I mean, not a lot of people tune into the Sci-Fi Channel. It's a select genre, but when you get, like, the gems, and she's going to go far in this industry.
Because she's appreciative.
Exactly.
You know, you can just tell in that in her voice that she's appreciative of everything she's been able to accomplish so far, and then the passion that she has to keep going. And she's a perfectionist.
Exactly.
Which is always a good thing.
She cares about her characters and her fans, which is just amazing.
I gotta tell you, dude, I loved the self-tape stories.
Yes,
because like you mentioned in the interview, you know, we have a production company and we get a lot of auditions sent to us and everything, and we do sometimes it's the same white wall over and over, and it's sort of here's somebody getting in costume and pulling a gun and jumping off chairs,
like editing the actual video together, like so good.
That extra effort, man. Sometimes that's how you get them lead roles, right?
Exactly, exactly. Man, so good, so good. Thank you again, Adrian Ray, for coming on the show. All right, guys, now it is time for our top 5 segment. And, of course, this past week, it was May the 4th.
Yes.
So International Star Wars Day.
So many new Star Wars things on Disney+. You know, like we talked about, it only made sense that it would be a Star Wars category.
Of course.
Of course. Look at the Funkos.
Exactly.
I mean, hello.
Exactly. I mean, these are all my Funkos of Star Wars right now. There's 11 of them, I believe. So, just beautiful. Beautiful, man. Literally, like, 4 of my top 5 are up here right now.
That's awesome.
So you can guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now it's top 5 Star Wars characters.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. It was hard, man, especially with this universe that keeps expanding.
But I like this, though, because there were some new characters that came out over the past couple of years or so that I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah. So, you know, gave us a little something to play with.
Yes. My number 5 is Mace Windu. I mean, who doesn't love fucking Samuel Jackson?
I mean, come on.
I know. It's just such a badass. I loved him in the prequels. I hope they eventually do like his standalone movie or bring him back into the movies because he definitely deserves it.
I mean, they're talking about that Obi-Wan series, so it makes sense that we might see old Mace, right?
That would be epic.
Can I just go on record and say, too, that Mace Windu, the most epic, badass lightsaber.
Agreed.
Purple.
Yeah, it's so good.
It beats all the rest of them. That
so
purple
good.
fucking, like, fuck the red, fuck the green, fuck all that. Purple.
Exactly.
Samuel L. Jackson knows how to fucking do it.
Oh, yeah,
I bet that was his idea.
He's got style.
Yeah, he's like, I want a fucking purple lightsaber. You know he did.
All right.
Like, okay.
So funny. So funny.
My number 5 is the master himself, Yoda.
Yep.
How can you not like Yoda?
I feel you.
Sure, we've got the child. We've got Baby Yoda. We don't know if it's Baby Yoda, if it's related to Yoda. We don't know. Cute, adorable. Everybody loves him. But there is no child.
No.
There is no any without the master himself, Yoda.
Agreed.
I mean, I thought Frank Oz was absolutely brilliant. I mean, just the way the puppetry, just the whole thing with Yoda. And then in the prequels when he's flipping around doing all the kind of like, and you get to see the stuff. I just love Yoda, man. I love Yoda.
I agree. My number 4 is bringing it to the newest edition of Star Wars, Finn.
Yes.
I love fucking Finn because he is a stormtrooper who can think for himself.
Yes.
Like, completely just like, this isn't me. This isn't me. I don't care if I'm a fucking clone. I can think for myself. So I think that was a completely new like way to approach a character in the Star Wars franchise, so I love that.
And he's kind of this generation's Han Solo.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, I mean, which good pick, man.
Yeah.
Good pick. I too am keeping with the new generation and one of the newer characters, which focuses on the old backstory of Boba Fett, but Mando, man,
For
the
sure.
Mandalorian. I just
sure.
think Pedro Pascal is killing it. I love the Favreau series. I love everything about this. This idea of a guy who can never take off his mask.
Yeah.
You know, he can't ever show his face and he just lives this life of obscurity. It's a fascinating story to me, and I just really like this thing. Yeah, Mando.
Agreed.
Mando.
My number 3 is R2-D2.
Yes.
In any of the incarnations that they put him in, help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi, you're my only hope. Ben Kenobi would have never got that message without R2-D2.
No.
So I'm just saying, I mean, and plus he's like one of the first like non-human characters to come on screen and completely steal any scene that he's in.
He totally stole every scene. He's fantastic, man.
Exactly. Just his little beeps, you know he's talking shit.
Exactly.
He's like, you little bitch.
Exactly. Exactly. My number 3 is a combo because I feel like you can't have one without the other.
Yeah.
Han Solo and Chewie.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, man. They're like regular original space gangsters, you know?
For sure.
I mean, it's just... I loved the whole renegade style. I love the whole I'm gruff, I'm mean, I'm a badass, but I'm a good guy.
Yeah.
I got a soft heart.
Exactly.
I travel around with this Wookiee.
I mean
come on, man. That relationship, that's the ultimate bromance, right? Like, I feel like any bromance after that is all stemmed from the two of them.
Yeah.
So, and, Harrison stopped flying.
Yes.
I love Han Solo. Harrison stopped flying. It's time to park the Millennium Falcon, my friend.
Oh
it's time to. It's okay.
That's so funny. That's so funny.
If Chewie were here, he'd say, like, just like no.
Oh my god. My number 2 was Anakin Skywalker / Darth Vader.
Yes.
I know it's like one of the same, two different same characters, whatever. But I mean, Anakin Skywalker, it was the chosen one. He was supposed to be one who brings balance back to the Force. I mean, of course, until Emperor Palpatine fucked that all up. But I love
Did he now?
He did. He fucked it all up. But I mean, it's always because of a girl. It's because he wanted to save Padme.
Everything is about a girl. It's in the history of all mankind. It's always about a girl.
I know. But I love Anakin was so misunderstood, but so powerful at the same time.
It's true.
I love. Especially now watching the Clone Wars, seeing more progression of his character, especially as a Jedi Master. So that's pretty epic. And then Darth Vader, of course, because they're at the end of Return of the Jedi, which is my favorite Star Wars movie, by the way.
Yes.
He showed that he was still in there. Even though he was manipulated by the dark side, he was still in there. Anakin was still in there. So, yes, Anakin Skywalker / Darth Vader.
So it makes total sense.
Yeah.
My number 2... we've addressed R2-D2.
Yes.
I agree with everything you said. Stole every scene. He always got everybody out of trouble.
He's
the guy that
saved everybody.
Yeah, if they were shooting at him or whatever, he'd be like, and he'd still kind of do his thing. He was great. But you know why R2-D2 is on my list? Because he had to put up with whiny bitch Luke and whiny bitch C-3PO his whole existence.
Both of them.
He was trapped between two whiny bitches the entire saga. And R2-D2's like, fuck it. Just fuck it. You're whining like a little bitch. You're whining like a little... I'm just going to fix some shit and we're going to get out of this.
It's
That good for R2-D2, man. R2-D2.
I know. He pulls it all together.
He does.
He really does.
He's like, whiny, whiny, whiny. Just do it. Just do it.
So
good
epic.
for R2-D2.
So epic. But not my number 1 pick is, like you had it on yours, Yoda.
Yeah.
By far the best Grand Master Jedi, in my opinion. He's just such a fucking badass. Like, so many ways to manipulate the Force and use the Force to his advantage. He's by far the best Jedi ever, in my opinion. So, Yoda, number 1, fucking badass.
I totally agree. He's a badass. I mean, without doubt. And my number 1, Rey.
Yeah?
And I'll tell you why. And this is nothing against Carrie Fisher. I absolutely adored Carrie Fisher. I loved Princess Leia. But I got to be honest. I think that Rey was everything that I felt like Leia and Padme should have been. She's like the epitome of, like if you were to combine them. Strong woman, Jedi, has her faults, but gets through her shit. And I just feel like if you were to merge Padme and Leia, that's Rey.
Yeah.
And she was just badass.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard to, and I thought Daisy Ridley was just brilliant.
Yeah,
I mean,
she attacked it brilliantly. And I loved how in Rise of Skywalker you saw Leia doing Jedi training so that she actually became a Jedi.
Right.
She is also a badass.
Exactly. So, yeah, I really like the storyline of Rey. And I hope, even though the Skywalker saga is over, we see her at least at some point in some future iteration.
Yeah. Well, I mean, rumor has it that with the new character that What's-Her-Face is playing in The Mandalorian.
Rosario Dawson?
Yeah. Apparently, Anakin might come back, and what's his face that played Anakin might
yeah,
come back
Hayden
too.
Christensen.
Yeah.
So that'd be really exciting,
That would be
right?
really freaking cool. I wonder how they would approach that, since he'd kind of be Darth Vader now, because that's where we're at in the timeline. But if they did a whole completely different version, who knows? Who knows? But just so many possible stories in the Star Wars universe. I mean, even before Marvel, there was Star Wars.
That's right. That's right.
So,
and George Lucas did it his way.
yeah, exactly.
You know, go Sinatra, but you start a 9-picture saga with number 4.
Yeah, right.
Who does that?
Who does that?
He's like, I've got this idea for 9 movies. We're going to start in the middle with number 4.
Exactly.
What? But, I mean, God bless Lucas. It worked, right? It's like, yeah, fuck it. That's how we're doing it.
And, I mean, one character that I will say that probably was the spawn for Mando and no Jedi shit involved was the Rogue One characters.
Yeah.
Because that movie showed that this franchise could still be successful without any sort of lightsabers, any Jedis, anything like that. So that was honestly one of my favorite movies as well.
Right. Yeah, I agree. And the rumor is they're continuing that as well, so I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope so.
I mean, Taika Waititi is going to direct the Star Wars film, so, I mean, I'm really excited about that.
Me too.
I'm really excited I can just pronounce his name right.
Do you think Favreau's going to, like, executive produce all the future Star Wars movies?
I hope so.
I just feel like that's going to happen.
Well, like you said before, I mean, Feige Marvel, Favreau Star Wars.
I think so.
Badass.
I mean, if it's true that Kathleen Kennedy is eventually stepping away, which it seems like every other week we hear that rumor, Favreau would be the obvious choice to take over. You know?
Yeah.
Keep the executive producer tag on the Marvel side, but run Lucasfilm.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that would be brilliant.
I agree. Great top 5 segment. And what is your top 5 Star Wars characters out there? We want to know. Comment below on either our podcast descriptions or comment on our YouTube channel or add us on Twitter, because we want to know. We like hearing different opinions and perspectives. Like, there's so many good characters that there's only 5. We can only name so many. So tell us, and may the Force be with you.
That's right. You could have named all of your Funkos.
I could.
I mean, seriously.
I know.
The Armorer, Emily Swallow.
The Armorer, yeah.
Could have totally put her on the list.
She was a badass.
She was.
Oh my goodness, so many good people. But now it is time for the IMDb Pro Top Trending segment. Oh man, we love this app. I already forgot how to pronounce the star's name, but it's fine. It's fine. You're here to help. It's all good.
All right,
it's all good. But yeah, guys, I mean, if you're an up-and-comer in this industry, especially an actor, this is your one-stop shop for information, how to break into the entertainment industry. You got endless amount of contacts. You have endless amount of resources on what's going down in Hollywood with the trades. And if you're a director, writer, anything like that, you can also do casting calls. You can also post casting announcements. If you're an actor, you can apply for casting roles, and just so much good stuff. It's so good.
Yeah, all the box office results are there now.
Yeah.
Like it's like the Jedi of entertainment
It
news.
is.
It really is.
It is. But the top trending movie this week, by no surprise, Extraction, Chris Hemsworth, Russo brothers. Sequel coming soon.
Yes.
Yeah.
Super excited about that. I definitely have to watch it.
I know.
I can't believe we haven't watched it yet.
know.
But we will.
Yes,
We will.
We will. The top trending TV show is The Last Kingdom. This is kind of like a Vikings medieval time era thing. So, I mean, medieval is really big right now. So it makes no surprise there. So congratulations to the movie and the TV show. Now the star. Who the fuck is it?
Yes, the top trending star is Golshifteh Farahani.
You
Yes.
kind of forgot to, didn't
Golshifteh.
you? Is that?
Golshifteh.
Golshifteh Farahani.
Yes.
There
yes.
we go.
We should get something for just saying the name.
I know,
I mean, God bless her, man. That's a tough name.
It is a tough
That's not
name.
one I would have wanted growing up.
I know.
Yeah.
And but watching Hollywood, it shows how like the progression and the evolution of the entertainment industry has changed, because you feel like with a name like that, an agent would tell you you're changing that shit.
Yeah. Oh, without doubt. Without doubt.
So, kudos to her for keeping that.
Right.
Like, good shit. Good shit. But yes, that is the IMDb Pro Top Trending segment. Hope everybody enjoyed it. Get the app. It's definitely freaking worth it. But anyway, guys, that is our show this week. Thank you so much for getting a little crazy on Inside the Crazy Ant Farm.
It's true.
We have to thank our guest one more time, Adrian Ray, for coming on the podcast and getting a little crazy with us and jumping off shit.
Yes.
We appreciate it. So fun. So fun.
The entire time for the interview, didn't you want to just put on like crisscross and like jump? Like,
yeah.
it's, what? I'm old school.
It's
okay,
fine. It's fine.
Is crisscross old school? I don't even know.
Yes.
It's like old for me. I mean,
Yeah,
right.
It is. It is. Be sure to follow her on all social media platforms.
Yes.
She's on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, I believe, and anywhere else you can find her. Be sure to follow us on social media.
Yeah, definitely. Just before we introduce, I want to say definitely follow her on Instagram because she does these really cool Fan Friday stuff. You know, you heard about it in the interview. You just slide in. She does these things, so you definitely want to follow her there. That's awesome.
Exactly. You might get to talk to her.
Seriously, I mean that'd be awesome.
Hell yeah. And like I said, be sure to follow us on social media at Crazy Ant Media. We are anywhere and everywhere on all social media platforms. It's great, man. It's great.
It is.
Tweeting, all that good shit.
Yeah.
And follow us both personally, myself at JLoFantastic and
Crazy Ant Guy 1970.
Yes, and of course you can listen to this podcast anywhere you listen to your podcast. Anchor, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Play Music, iHeartRadio. You can watch us on YouTube, listen to us on Stitcher, Podbean. So many guys. It's so good. It's so good.
Literally everywhere you can possibly listen to a podcast, we are there.
Exactly.
I mean, it's an amazing thing, technology. It's an amazing thing.
It's an amazing thing.
I listen on Alexa.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, seriously, like, I go back, listen to the shows. It's like, Alexa, play my podcast, and boom. I mean, there it is.
No, so good. So good. Be sure to visit our website as well, crazyantmedia.com, to get the latest and greatest Crazy Ant Media gear. You can watch our weekly update that we posted on Wednesday, guys. So if you want to stay up to date with our film and television production company, we listen or watch that episode on YouTube and on our website. We got a lot going on. Bonk's Bar is doing great. The Ravens Vision is doing great. Teaser trailer coming soon. Got the first draft finished, and Getting Viral is going fantastic. So
yes.
Killing it, man.
We are killing it. I mean, like, just nonstop, man.
Yeah.
And we're having a blast doing it.
Definitely. But I gotta say, talking about all the Disney stuff was probably my favorite, and, I mean, Tom Cruise in space, because, I mean, it sounds ridiculous, but I really want to see just how they approach it and what's the finished project gonna look like.
I'm waiting for any details to come out about what that film will be.
Oh, yeah.
Like, Tom Cruise in space.
I know.
I just definitely, and I agree. I mean, anytime we talk Marvel, I love it.
Yeah.
You know, and there's clearly a lot of stuff coming as far as series come.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, unfortunately, we've had to push back all the movies for a little bit, but they've got some stuff coming.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'm excited about that, and of course, jumping off chairs.
Yeah, of course.
I just want to go back and say Adrian is just like, that was great. How can you not love that part of the show?
I know.
Jump.
Jump. It was a great interview.
It was.
But you know who could probably go to space anytime she wanted? Probably has a house in space.
He jumped off her couch.
Exactly.
Oprah!
He jumped off her couch.